All right, go ahead.
Okay, so when we talk about that, I got a few things to respond to on what you said because you said some great things. The three things, right? But is that first of all, it's not fair anymore, and a lot of things is that we
It never
don't
was.
realize as men. Some of us didn't have that man to show us that. First of all, right? So when welfare came, it took us out the house. And I ain't trying to get politically, but that when a woman chose that house over the man to get that Section 8, that's what took us all out the house, right? That start taking men out the house, right? In impoverished neighborhoods. But women ain't cooking, women ain't cleaning. I could get in a woman car right now and that thing look like a house, smell, stank, everything. So it's like I dated a girl. She said I don't cook because I'm a career woman. So, but I still gotta provide. So I gotta provide everything, and sometimes cook. Like my homeboy just met a girl. He cooked for her 3 times. That girl ain't lifted a fork up and cleaned nothing in that man's house.
That's his
So,
fault.
so it's like, what are we really running into now? And if we think about back in the day, I think everything evolves except for when it comes to dating. Everybody want to still be in the 60s and the 70s. We not in the 60s. I didn't date back in the 60s and the 70s. You know
I
what
think
I'm saying?
I
No,
think
I'm
that
not saying you, but when we talk about the old school traditions, like we ain't in the old school. We in new school. And granted, I want to take care of my woman, protect her, and provide for her, but we live in a generation now where stuff costs more. Two incomes is better than one. I'm not a fan of that. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is yours. You feel me?
mhm,
I think it's what's ours. If you make 100,000 and I make 100,000, then we got 200,000 in the family.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But also, we don't take into account how unhappy grandma and grandpa was. They just sacrificed and stayed together. Grandma couldn't read and dropped out in second grade, so she had to deal with that. We
Right.
don't
Yeah.
talk about how Earl had 3 kids down the street,
Around the corner.
and,
Right. Yeah.
and grandma knew about it. But
But
we want that.
he was providing for their family too.
But we want that black love. So do we really want that black love? And
Yeah.
Earl can come home and slap the hell out you, and ain't nothing gonna happen because you can't get out of line. You can't say nothing. You can't
No.
do that. You can't do none of that when Earl was
Right,
walking these streets. You couldn't do
right,
none of that. You jump out of line, Earl gonna slap you.
right,
You just gonna go sit down and
Well,
take it.
right.
okay. So even though you do have the three P's, right?
Hmm.
But what has changed here within the last, I would say, 15 years? Have you heard of the term power couple? You
Yes.
know, so now they've shifted from the man being the three P's, but sometimes, some people are still stuck in that.
Hmm.
But the reality is now, just as you said, the woman is probably making more money than the man
Most definitely.
nowadays.
Most definitely.
And so you shift from the man being the three P's to now we are a power couple and we're bringing these things to the table. That's if you have standards. You talk about your friend that was cooking 3 times a day. That's because obviously that was his love language. When you're in a relationship these days, you bring what you got and what you got, and let's bring that together. And
Hmm.
see, we didn't got away from the stereotypical roles where I take care of everything on the inside of the house and the man do everything on the outside of the house.
Mhm.
Because if you like to cook, okay, yeah, I'm still at work. When you come home, when I get off work, you've been cooked already. Well, guess what? You don't like to wash or iron your clothes, so I'll do the washing and ironing. I may not be the best at paying bills, so we're gonna let you be the head of the finances. So you
Right.
find the strong points. It's checks and balances. You figure out what the strong, and that's how it should be now. And when you're opening up these doors in these married homes now, and these power couples, that's how it's working now. If a man feels like he's not getting something out of a relationship because he feels like he's having to do everything, you need to hire your standards because there are women out there that do that. There are women out there that will go just as hard in a relationship as the man, and that's how you gonna
Right.
know she's. She gonna like, hey, like
Right.
say for instance, if you have a long-term relationship, a long-distance relationship, right? You might live in one state, she might live in the other, but she want to see you. She's like, hey, I need to get you a ticket because I'm ready to see you. When you just tell me when you can come, and so you just make it work, and that's how you show that. That's how the woman shows that she's interested. You're a truck driver, right? And you talking about what all you need, and if that woman don't say, well, hey, I'll tell you what, why don't I pack up your lunch? You're gonna be gone for how many days? 5 days? I tell you what, I'll pack up your lunch for 5 days. And then when you come back in between routes and you just come by and pick up your bag, I already have your clothes packed and everything. That's teamwork. She's interested in you, right? You know, let's say, for instance, if you have an endeavor, you know, I was thinking about starting this business. What you think? Oh, baby, I think that's a good idea. And I tell you what, I know my homegirl, she knows how to do this. And then I also know a person knows how to do business loan. I can put you in contact with her. And guess what? I'm a credit repair agent. So if the credit ain't right, I can fix that. You know,
All right,
that's
so let's
how you know
all right. Thank you.
And I tell you what, her inbox might be blowing up. Like, hey,
Thank you for the dissertation.
tonight, please.
All right.